Dear Diary, we are going out of town this week, and I'm so excited. We're going to Wisner, Nebraska. So we were originally going to go out of town with my family, probably to the mountains, is where we usually go. But because of COVID and circumstances, we decided to get away to this house in Wisner, Nebraska that has an indoor pool and a lake and a huge sand area, and it should be great. So we're going with my brother and my parents and all the kids. So looking forward to that, and I'm just realizing that I forgot to pack underwear, so I gotta pack that. I don't know what my problem is, but I always forget either underwear or pajamas. I think this time I will get it. So couple funny things this week. My kids really have been hard on me this week with my appearance. So earlier in the week, Jackson got the mail and he was looking through the coupon section, and he was pointing out like, "Oh, mom, do you need a coupon for this?" And, "Oh, mom, do you need a coupon for that?" And he came upon this page that must have been for makeup. I didn't look at it that carefully, but for makeup, and there was a picture, there were a couple coupons on there and a picture of a pretty woman with makeup on. I'm sure her hair was done. And Jackson brought it over to me and he said, "Oh, mom, wouldn't you want to look like this?" And immediately I felt, it wasn't like soul crushing, but I felt a little crushed by that. And I just said to him, "No, I want to look like myself." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And that was it, but I felt a little like he thinks that I could look better or should look better. And I think I was just caught off guard by the fact that he even thought about that it was even a thought in his head. And I didn't want to make a big thing of it, so I wasn't going to have a discussion with him. I'm sure it was a fleeting thought, but it just was a surprising thing for me. Anyway, then we were at the pumpkin patch yesterday, and Ryan had to go to the bathroom, so I took her into the handicap bathroom because she had a dress on, and I helped hold up her dress while she went. So then while we were there, I just said, "Okay, well, I'll go while we're here." So I was going to the bathroom. I had a long shirt on, and she goes, "Oh, well, I'll help hold her shirt up while you go." Okay. So she was helping to hold my shirt up, and she goes, "Oh, mom, you have a big bottom." I said, "Well, I have an adult bottom." Yeah, and that was it. But again, I was like, just funny. And of course, I do have a big bottom compared to her. Just funny. That was more funny to me that she thought to say that. But I thought, what do my kids think about me, and what do they think about appearances and all that sort of thing, and just wondering how they think about life and beauty and all that sort of thing. So super interesting. What else? Not really a whole lot else going on. I feel really challenged in my prayer life, which is kind of the theme for me of 2020. Like I have a lot to learn about prayer and the way I think about that. So maybe that's something that I'll get into a little bit more. But that's kind of what's going on for me.
Dear Journal. So, as seems to always be the case with Andrea and I and our family, whenever one of our families comes into town, both of them are coming into town almost right back on, right on top of each other or back to back. So, in, classic traditional form, since we're going out to hang out with Andrea's family later today, this whole previous week, all my brothers and sister came into town, some for the whole week, some off and on, because my grandfather is sick, and he's 97, so it's not that it's not expected when you get to be that age that your body will start to fail you a little bit, but it kind of has a number of issues have come on kind of all at the same time. And so now he's perhaps, on a bit of a rebound right now, but a week ago, as we were thinking about this as a family, it didn't look good. So everybody came into town to be able to spend a little bit of time with him. And in this bizarre COVID-19 world that we live in, it's actually only possible for us to see him in person while he's in the hospital, because we're not allowed to see him at their assisted living facility where they live. It's not even a nursing home facility, it's just assisted living facility, but we're not allowed in there, because, people take one look at me and Andrea and they're like, yeah, they have coronavirus. So we went to visit him in the hospital. And so everybody came into town to do that. So it was really cool getting to spend some time with my brothers and my sister and their wives. And, it's always cool to be able to get everybody together. And, you kind of have that nostalgic feel of growing up when you got all the siblings you grew up with around the table. And it's cool to always, to get to know their wives better and get to hang out with them a little bit. And so, for us, for the boys, because I'm one of 4 boys, and then the youngest is the baby girl, who's not much of a baby anymore, but has turned into a wonderful young woman. So for the boys, we're pretty simple. We hang out, eat some good food, stay up late playing video games, and it's great. And so we spent a lot of time this week hitting the wasteland in Fallout and hanging out together, and it's a blast, right? I mean, we have a lot of fun, just silliness, right? We all get on a phone call together and play, and it's great. That connection is hard to beat with people that really know you and that and that you enjoy doing things together with them. And so, man, it just was such a blessing for me to be able to do that. And that really ties into what I've been thinking about this week, because now that we've been into coronavirus and shutdowns and frankly what I would say people living in over fear, by and large, a lot of it perpetuated by people that perhaps don't necessarily have the cleanest of motives, but are generating fear nonetheless, whether they think it's deserved or not deserved. That's what's happening. And so as I got to have a week of just hanging out with my siblings and spending time together and connecting on a personal level and having fun, I've seen 3 articles this week, and one I saw 5 minutes before we came up here to shoot this episode, about the doubling and tripling rate of depression in this country right now. And as I was reading through these articles, it became just so clear to me that if ever there was proof that human beings were designed and created as pack animals, it's right now. I mean, we were not created for isolation. We just weren't. And when you put people in a situation where they have to be isolated, good things are not coming out of that, bar a work of the Lord. And I have had conversations with a lot of people, Christians, who have gone through this coronavirus season and gone, man, I just feel closer to the Lord. I feel like the Lord's doing huge things in my life. And that's amazing. So I'm not saying that that's not going on, but I'm talking about not within the Christian community, but also some who would call themselves Christians, and some that even genuinely are Christians that are really struggling with isolation. And as I get to spend all week this week hanging out with siblings, it really struck me, am I up to the challenge that's about to come to the church, to our family, to my children, to me, in this next year and years after people stop walking in fear of coronavirus? Because there's going to be a ton of hurt people, hurt marriages, hurt individuals, lonely people, depressed people, potentially suicidal people, people that feel like they don't have any hope. And am I prepared, as Peter challenges us, to give a defense for the hope that I have? Why can I be so hopeful in the midst of coronavirus and anything else? And I feel like there's this real juxtaposition this week that's got me thinking between how happy I was to be able to connect and spend time with people that I love, and reading all of these things about people that are just in such depression right now because they haven't connected with anyone. And am I reaching out to connect with people and not living in fear? That's what I'm thinking about this week.